Welcome to Good Vibration Therapy. I'm your host, James Huberti, and if you've landed here, it's absolutely no accident and means that you're ready to learn how to raise your frequency to attract more money, love, and happiness in your life. The purpose of the podcast is to educate, inspire, and support you on your personal journey towards better health and inner peace. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about how to address the feelings that you're not enough, or feelings of worry, stress, and anxiety over money constantly, every minute, every hour, every day. If this sounds like you, then this episode is for you. In my coaching practice, I'm asked, what are the most important things that you can do to relieve stress, to relieve anxiety about I don't feel I'm good enough or I'm constantly beating myself up? I thought that's a great question. After thinking about it for some time, my answer would be to practice and master unconditional love and microscopic gratitude. When you practice these principles, and I'm going to talk about this in this episode, you'll feel that you are enough and have enough. And when you feel this way, you are happy, you are peaceful, and you are in love with yourself no matter how many zeros in your bank account. So what does unconditional self-love mean? If you're new to this podcast, welcome. And in previous episodes, I talk about what unconditional self-love is. And what it is, it's the practice of loving yourself first and forgiving yourself and praising yourself first and praising all your unique talents, personality traits, and all that makes you unique, beautiful, and special every moment, every day, every chance that you get over and over. And at a point, you will never have to address this again because your subconscious just wants to run a program. And this program was developed when we were young, a bias towards our own image, our own self-esteem, our own confidence. And when you practice unconditional self-love over and over, as I said, your subconscious listens to it and you do fall in love with yourself. Take yourself out to dinner. Make love to yourself. Don't worry about not having a date on a Friday or Saturday night. Celebrate that and say, wow, I get to spend time with myself. The problem is with love is that we often put conditions on our own self-love and happiness. For example, I'll feel loved or happy when I lose weight, or I'll feel happy and loved when I get plastic surgery, or I'll feel happy and loved when I win the lottery, or I'll feel happy and loved when I find my soulmate, or I'll feel happy or loved when I have a new house, or whatever. Often this type of conditional wait and see self-love approach is like putting a band-aid on your inner peace and happiness. And what I mean by this is that when you get the thing or the person that comes into your life that you think was going to make you happy or content, often reality is that you have to remove the bandage, and often that wound doesn't heal on its own. And once you get what you desired, it often leaves you with feelings of disappointment, resentment, and unhappiness. And I've seen this many, many times from consulting with very wealthy clients that have it all, have achieved financial freedom, and still, no matter how much wealth they have, how many zeros in their bank account, they suffer from loneliness, unhappiness, and anxiety and depression. In fact, the statistics are that up to 95% of all millionaires and billionaires suffer from these afflictions of being not happy, being depressed, anxiety, and just being a wreck. I mean, more money, more problems. It's so true. So the moral of this message is that unless you work on your unconditional self-love, no amount of money, fame, or fortune will make you happy, especially when you're home alone and have to remove that bandage of unhappiness. Towards the end of this episode, I'm going to discuss the step-by-step process of how to practice unconditional self-love. So let's for a minute now switch gears and talk about the second most important principle of practicing microscopic gratitude. And what I mean about practicing microscopic gratitude is that often we either don't see all of our blessings or we take them for granted. And instead, we often focus most of our energy on worrying about paying our bills, worrying about negative outcomes, negative thoughts, struggling financially, or just the day-to-day mundane stress of living paycheck to paycheck. So when you focus all of your energy on worrying about how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to put food on the table, or waiting for something or someone to come into your life to save you, you're often setting yourself up for more of the same things that you worry about. The more you worry about something, the more that you give it energy, the more your frequency sends out to the universe that you will always be in a position of lack. The universal law of attraction, like attracts like. When you change your bias, when you change your frequency, and you start projecting gratitude for all the things in your life, the smallest little blessings, then you start to turn the corner of lack and you start to turn up the frequency of abundance. When you practice microscopic gratitude minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, over time, your subconscious, and I often refer to it in my podcast episodes, being a genie in a bottle, that over time, practicing unconditional self-love and microscopic gratitude, your subconscious will simply say, "Your wish is my command." So now let's start practicing the two most important principles of mastering self-love and microscopic gratitude. And how do we do that? How do we change those bias? How do we change a negative frequency into a positive mindset, a positive new bias about living your best life, no matter how many zeros in your bank account? So the principles in practice is called transformative breathing technique. And how this works is very simple. Anytime you have a negative doubt, a negative thought about your self-image, a situation, stress that you're going through, or fear of the future, or fear of not paying your bills or running out of money, or worst case scenario of being homeless. So this breathing technique essentially can be used for any situation, any negative thought, or improving your self-worth, your self-confidence, and practicing unconditional love and microscopic gratitude. So this is how it works. So anytime you have a negative thought, I want you to breathe deeply through your nose the affirmation that you want to achieve in your life. If you want to praise yourself for whatever that is, or if you're lacking money, then I want you to breathe in through your nose, "I am abundance," or "I am beautiful," "I am loved." And I want you to breathe that in deeply as you can through your nose. And then I want you to exhale any of those negative thoughts that you had initially, fear of the future, mistakes that you made in your past, or any stress that you're going through, or the unknown. I want you just to let it go as forcibly through your mouth as you breathe in through your nose. So practicing this breath work is so effective. Anytime that you want to rewire, refire a new program, a new belief about yourself, or a new belief about attracting more of the thing that we focus on. I am abundant. I am a money-making machine. I have more than enough that I need. I am enough. I have enough. This constant rewiring and firing of these new thoughts, these new positive biases, over time, the frequency will change and your subconscious will start to go to work to start changing your perspective and start presenting new opportunities, and therefore you will achieve complete inner peace and happiness by practicing this breath work. I hope this episode has been helpful. I am enough and I have enough, and the breath work to get you there, to rewire, refire a new positive bias towards self-love, and also achieving more in your life by practicing all the blessings that you have in your life, that you have enough, and your subconscious believes you have enough. You start wiring a new frequency of abundance. You start to attract more things into your life and achieve inner peace no matter how many zeros in your bank account. If you like this content, please follow, like, and share with others that you think could use some good vibration therapy. Live well, be strong, and remember, don't be a victim of your life, be a master of it. Episode disclaimer: I'm not a psychologist or a medical doctor. Do not offer any professional help or medical advice. If you are suffering from a psychological or medical condition, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Thank you again for listening. Have a blessed day.